rise. Pawtucket Municipal Traffic Court is now in session. The Honorable Chief Judge Donna M. Nesselbush presiding.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Please be seated. Good afternoon, Madam Clerk. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I apologize for being a few moments late, but I did a nice marriage ceremony in my chambers. Nice. We'll give them a nice round of applause. They were a lovely couple. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I'm Judge Donna Nesselbush, and it is my pleasure to welcome you to Pawtucket Municipal Traffic Court. As I often say, that about ends the good news because each of you who is here has been charged with a traffic violation. We have a small docket today, so we'll do our best to get people in and out. I will also warn you that I just had a root canal, so if I talk a little funny, it's because I have a numb left side of my face. There is one thing I'd like to let people know before we call the docket, and that is about the Good Drivers Statute. So we're lucky in Rhode Island, unlike our neighbors to the north, Massachusetts, and to the south, Connecticut, who do not have a Good Drivers Statute. In Rhode Island, if you have a clean driving record for the last 3 years prior to the infraction, at my discretion, I can dismiss a traffic violation against you. So when you come forward, we're going to let you know whether you qualify for that statute. And if you would like to use it, it does have to be on a guilty plea, meaning that you have to feel you were guilty of the traffic violation. However, at the same time, I always want motorists to know that you have all of your legal rights available to you to plead not guilty. And if you wish to do so, I will ask that you have what we call a pre-trial conference with one of the police officers. Perhaps there are some extraordinary circumstances or something that can be worked out before a trial. But if not, we do our best to get the motorist back in for a trial with the police officer who gave you the ticket, and of course any witnesses that you may wish to call at the trial day in your own defense and on your own behalf. In order to use the Good Driver Statute, there is a $25 surcharge, but I assure you that that is less expensive than the traffic tickets themselves, which are typically $85, $95, or more, and of course the insurance consequences that go with a traffic ticket. So with that, we'll call our first case, and I do think everything will be self-explanatory.
Josh Padua, speeding, first offense.
All right, come forward.
Represented by counsel.
All right, I see that. Good afternoon, counselor.
Good morning.
Your name for the record?
Jeffrey Padua. I represent the defendant, Joshua Padua.
All righty, I see. I see that Joshua does qualify for the Good Driver Statute. Is that correct?
Yes.
To the speeding charge on School Street, how does your client plead?
He's going to plead guilty and hope he gets the Good Driver.
The Good Driver Statute. All right, awesome. We'll do so. Thanks so much for coming to court today. And with that, sir, you'll be all set on the first floor. You're going to go right through that door down to the cashier, to the cashier's office. Okay? Thank you very much. All right.
Thanks. Jen C. Castillo. Speeding qualifies.
Good afternoon, sir. Sir, you've been charged by Pawtucket Police with speeding on School Street. You do have a nice, clean driving record. To that charge, how do you plead? All right. We're going to enter your guilty plea and dismiss that for you under the Good Drivers Statute. There is that $25 surcharge, $35 of court costs, $60 total, and the case will be dismissed under the Good Drivers Statute. Thank you for coming to court.
Gary Gallo. Speeding qualifies.
Good afternoon, sir. Sir, you've been charged by Pawtucket Police with speeding on School Street. You have a nice, clean driving record. To that charge, how do you plead?
I would plead guilty with an explanation. I did not see a speeding sign. I was going 35 and 25.
Yeah, it says here 38 to 25, but you know, sir, you have a good driving record, so I'm going to dismiss that for you under the Good Driver Statute. I'm sure I know that's a common area that gets cited a lot, so I'm sure there are signs in the area. So it'll be $60 total, and it will be dismissed under the Good Driver Statute, okay?
Thank you.
Thanks for coming to court.
Edgar Almeida. The obedience to traffic device, no left turn, qualifies.
Good afternoon, sir. Sir, you've been charged with taking that illegal left turn Newport at Mill. You do have a nice, clean driving record. To that charge, how do you plead?
Guilty.
All right, sir. You're going to be all set. Case dismissed under the Good Drivers Statute. Thank you, sir. $60 on the first floor. 4, 2, 18.
Kevin Raposa. No left turn as well, Your Honor. Qualifies.
Good afternoon, sir. Sir, you've been charged by Pawtucket Police with taking that same illegal left turn, Newport at Mill. To that charge, how do you plead?
Guilty, I like to use my good driving.
All right, sir, we'll be happy. We appreciate that good record, and we'll be happy to give you consideration and dismiss that. $60 total, but it will appear on your record as a dismissal. Thank you very much, sir. Have a nice day.
Suzanne Bissett. Speeding qualifies.
Good afternoon, ma'am. Ma'am, you've been charged by Pawtucket Police with speeding. You do have a nice, clean driving record. To that charge, how do you plead? And ma'am, I'm looking at your driving record, and it looks to me that you have been driving almost 50 years. Is that correct? And have you never gotten a ticket?
No ticket.
Well, ma'am, I cannot be the judge that damages that good driving record. So I'm going to give you an outright dismissal today. You're going to keep your good driver statute available to you because we really appreciate 50 years with no tickets. Now, that's a feat not all can accomplish. You're all set, ma'am. No fine, just the $35 of court costs, and the case will be dismissed outright. Thanks for 50 years of good driving. Right through that door. Nice. 50 years, that's a long time without a ticket. I can't...
Vivica Ayala. Okay, motion to vacate for an inspection sticker ticket.
Good afternoon, ma'am. Ma'am, you are here before the court on your motion to vacate. Apparently you had been issued an inspection sticker violation on 7/17/2017. Last year, you were actually before my associate, Judge Gannon, but you didn't appear for court. And when you didn't appear, he found you guilty by default, which we always do, and he imposed maximum statutory fines and court costs and sent your license to be suspended, which is what happens when you don't appear in court. So my first question to you, ma'am, is why didn't you appear in court last year?
I had the inspection done, and when the police officer pulled me over, he told me as long as I had it completed, got the inspection done, that I would be all set. So I just assumed that I didn't have to appear at court, and that electronically all of that would be communicated to the city of Pawtucket, and so I never came to the court thinking I didn't have to because I got the inspection done.
Wow.
And then months later, I returned the plates because I junked the car.
And then when you returned the plates, did you then know, or how did you
No,
realize?
I
Because your
found-
license has been suspended since January.
I found out on this past Friday when I went to go renew my license. That's when I
Okay.
found out.
And your license is suspended, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And Madam Clerk, it's going to cost her $151.50 to reinstate that. So, ma'am, to the charge of driving an uninspected vehicle, how do you plead?
Guilty.
All right, ma'am. I'm going to give you a break, and the plates have been turned in.
Yes.
That
I
car
have
is off the
letter
road.
from the DMV that.
Okay. Just show the police officer, Officer Jarvis. I just want to confirm that car is off the road.
We have the TR3 cancellation of registration, 11/27/17.
And you can see the registration that was canceled, BG 975.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, ma'am. Usually I always say to people, I can't do for you today what I would have done if you had come to court like you're supposed to. And I often say openly that, the most important thing is to be responsible, come to court, and we'll deal with anything. In your case, the inspection sticker violation would be an $85 fine, but you're already going to have to pay a $151 on the license suspension in order to get your license reinstated. So I'm going to give you a dismissal for compliance, and I'll save you the $85.
Thank you.
And you'll just pay the $35 of court costs plus the $151. So it still is going to end up being $180 for something that would have gone away for $35 had you come to court. So, ma'am, I have just done something nice for you in the spirit of WWJD, since yesterday was Easter. So I'm dismissing that upon compliance because you did get it inspected and now that car is off the road. No fine, just the $35 of court costs, and all I ask, ma'am, is that you go do something nice for someone else, all right? All right. Good luck to you. Remember to come to court.
Edward Wale. We have a motion to vacate, Your Honor. We have 5 parking tickets here.
Come forward, sir.
Appears 2 of them are violation of winter rules and 3 street sweeping violation.
All right, sir, you are before the court on several matters. I do not have the Set amount to pay at this point. I have paid. All right, sir, so you are here on what we call a motion to vacate, and your license is set to go into suspension in 2 days, on Wednesday. And the reason that your license is going into suspension is that you have several unpaid parking tickets with the city. So my first question to you is, why do you keep getting so many parking tickets? I mean, everybody could get one, but 5?
Well, due to the nature of my job, I work with the elderly, the old folks. So when I leave, I go like maybe 3 months, 6 months, and when I come, and then my car is parked, there's nobody home to even move it.
Were you out of the country during these traffic tickets?
Now I was within the country, but when I travel, I travel out of the city.
How do you travel? Your car's on the street, so you must fly.
And no, it's like I have, someone take me to the job, and we don't.
But I thought you said you weren't at the job. You're traveling now, and that's
No,
why your car is
what
on
I'm
the
saying,
street.
well, I work at, when I work, I go to the client's home.
Yeah?
And I stay there for 2 months, 3 months.
You stay at the client's house for
Yeah,
2 or 3 months?
Yeah, yeah, that's the nature of my job.
What kind of job is that?
Your PCA, your personal care.
Yeah.
And the old folks, and they need that companion.
I don't know, sir. I think if you're in Rhode Island, you must be going back home.
Yeah, sometimes when I go home.
That
I
doesn't
go,
sound so
if you can
believable
see-
to me.
If you can see right here, this is where I work, and when we leave, sometimes this is the contract. You can't come home until maybe 2 months or 3 months, and then when you come home, and then you have like maybe a week before you go back.
Well, sir, you gotta, you gotta do something. You can't leave your car on the street. I mean, again, once or twice, but let's look at the dates that these span. I
Right.
suspect that there are a lot of them. So we've got August 18th of 17. We've got June 22nd of 17, 3/14 of 17. And once you get them, sir, it must alert you like, oh, I can't keep going and leaving my car because every time I come back, I get a ticket. So we've kind of handled why you're getting so many tickets. So then, now the next question is, if you're working, why don't you pay the $15 when you get a $15 ticket?
Right.
I mean, all you could do is put it in an envelope and mail it off. $15. Who doesn't have $15?
It's my negligence when I get those tickets. I sometimes when I leave at home and I'm gone, it's not with me.
But sir,
Right.
we all have important documents.
I-
You can't just go to work and not think about the tickets or the
Right.
court dates that you have.
Right.
So, you have a number of tickets, sir, totaling, Madam Clerk. Do you know what they all total?
It's actually an additional 100. We had this 546, but the 5th ticket was attached. It was just stuck, so.
So it's 646.
646 because fines have been tripled.
So, sir, we got to come up with some reasonable, you got to take care of these matters with the city. Otherwise, your license is going to go. So, for instance, if you don't deal with this by Wednesday, automatically with the license suspension, the reinstatement fee is $151. So, I mean, it's in your favor to do something about this before Wednesday so that you can save the $151. And I assume, it sounds like you need your license to, although I don't know why your car is at home. Maybe you don't need a license to drive. Maybe it won't be so bad because you're at these places for 2 and 3 months at a
Right,
time.
I mean, we all need car when we come home, to go places, and then even the
I thought
license-
so. I thought so.
even the license, and there are other things you got to.
So let's make a deal, sir. How much can you afford to pay by Wednesday?
That's easier, Your Honor.
Oh, that's
Here's the deal on the table. I will half the amount. I'll save you 50%
All right.
of your parking tickets if you pay by Wednesday. Otherwise, it's full value and you're going to get your license suspended. So you're not going to get a better deal than that.
so you hook me over 200.
No. So you're this is like, let's make a deal. So let's see, you're at 646. I'll tell you what, I'll bring it down to 300, and even 300, I'll save you the other $20.
My pleasure.
All right,
I agree.
$300. I'm going to vacate.
Your Honor, I'll have to figure this out on the computer.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we're going to grant your motion to vacate the previous $646 fines. We're going to have a new docket sheet on 4/2/18, and we're going to do $300 if paid by Wednesday. If not paid by Wednesday, sir, it's all back there, okay?
Oh,
You know-
I'm going now.
You know what they say, money talks, and we'll leave it at that.
That's right. I'll leave it
All
at
right.
that.
So it'll be $300 plus the $35 of court costs. Now, again, I've done something very nice for you
Very
today.
nice.
Go do something very nice for someone else.
If your
Those
phone
old
If your
people.
phone is off the hook, I did it, because I talk about you.
Now you make me look to make sure my phone is off.
Take care.
All right, next case.
Job, Charlotte. Driving with expired registration.
All right, sir. You've been charged by Pawtucket Police with driving on an expired registration. Have you re-registered the car? Do you have proof of that, sir?
Yeah, it's attached.
Oh, okay. And you've reviewed it, officer?
Yes.
And it is now properly registered?
Yes.
All right, sir. How long were you driving an unregistered car?
Like 5 days.
All right, I'll give you a break for that, sir. We're going to give you a dismissal for compliance. There'll be no fine, $35 of court costs, and the same thing to you, sir. I've done something nice. Go do something nice for someone else, all right? Case dismissed for compliance. Don't be driving any unregistered or uninspected cars.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Stephen London. Speeding
Good afternoon,
qualifies.
sir. All right, sir, you've been charged by Pawtucket Police with speeding on School Street. You do have a nice, clean driving record. I appreciate that. To that charge, how do you plead?
Prior to the plea, may I say a
Sure.
few words? Great. First of all, I love how vibrant you are. It's as
Aw.
evident as in the commercials and so forth.
Oh,
So these past 7 years have been great in your first Rhode Island Senate, so that's great.
this guy does his research when he goes to court.
January 4th, 2011, you were admitted. So you went to Brown University, alma mater, my roommates and so forth. Anyways, that's
You're a
not-
Brown graduate.
My roommates are Brown grads. I'm still at Bryant.
Okay, good for you
Yeah,
for
so
being in college.
I'm a
Well,
senior,
you're
yes.
very well informed about the judge that you see in traffic court. I like that.
You have to be.
All
And
right,
so,
sir.
To the point. I'm sorry.
Yes.
I don't want to take up your time. Is Rhode Island, and this is for the basis of me asking my question,
Sure.
an absolute speeding law, or is it more kind of what's the other word, presumed speeding law, like when a speeding limit is posted, whether it's absolute or is it kind of pursuant, as in the sense of
No, if it's 25, it's 25. So the officer has you going 38 in a 25. But as I said, you do have a good driving record, so I can dismiss that for you, sir.
So the last question was, and that
Sure.
was just, if I was looking for an outright dismissal in the sense of, truthfully, I've been driving for 6.5 years, and
The lady who drove for 50,
50.
now that's something
I
I could
agree.
consider. 6
agree.
years and
No,
no
I
tickets
agree.
is not exactly getting you a Brown Star.
My apologies. The sense was I was with the flow of traffic, everyone braked, and then I moved over lanes, and that's when I got caught. So I just thought I'd ask what was a previous case maybe that they were granted outright dismissal, and like Saturdays I feed the homeless in my church and so forth.
Listen, you seem like a very, very fine young man, but as you have been in court, actually we have a very small docket today, but normally there's 100 people here, and really, if I did that for you, I'd have to do that for everybody who qualified for the good driver statute. So we should probably be thankful that we have that in Rhode Island, and you can at least get a dismissal, though it will cost you using your good driving record. So would you like to plead guilty, or would you like to plead not guilty?
Plead guilty.
All right, sir. You were entertaining. Good try. I got to give you E for effort. That's a Bryant student using his brain and as well as he can. Case dismissed under the good driver statute. Good luck to you, sir.
If I may.
Appreciate it.
The previous case with the parking violations, you're all set.
Yeah, you're all set, sir.
In the accounting world,
We have to
there's no
do.
way I can make it $300. I can make it $306.
I think he'll be fine with that.
306
306 it is. Yeah, you may want the clerk down there to explain to him.
Yes.
We have to go in multiples of what the ticket was. We double them or triple them, and
Carla Costa. Speeding qualifies.
good afternoon, ma'am. Ma'am, you've been charged by Pawtucket Police also with speeding on School Street. To that charge, how do you plead?
Guilty.
All right, you're all set, ma'am. Case dismissed under the
Thank
good driver statute.
Ashley Swirls. Speeding qualifies.
Good afternoon, ma'am. Ma'am, you also are in the Speeding on School Street Club. To that charge, how do you plead?
Guilty.
All right, ma'am. You do qualify, so I'm going to dismiss that for you under the good driver's statute, okay? Case dismissed, $60.
Thank you.
Arazde Garcia. Speeding does not qualify due to the lack of license.
Good afternoon, ma'am. Ma'am, you've been charged by Pawtucket Police with speeding on School Street. Apparently, you've only been driving since 9/12/2016, so you don't have the requisite 3 years. So what I do in those cases, ma'am, is that I allow young drivers the opportunity to engage in community service, 10 hours. My first question is to the speeding on School Street charge. How do you plead?
Guilty.
All right. And would you like to pay that fine, or would you like to do 10 hours of community service? It would be smart to do 10 hours of community service. A young person like you, your insurance would go up, and you could go do 10 hours of good work for the world. You could work at a soup kitchen, you could work at a domestic violence shelter, you can work in a church, anything that is not for profit, okay? You can't work in a business, but any of the community action programs or anything like that, okay? So I'm going to give you a month. Madam Clerk,
Would you like to come in on another Monday afternoon?
Monday afternoon, yes.
Is that good? Okay. So that's gonna bring us over to Monday, May 7th at 2 p.m.
May 7th, 2018. Okay, ma'am, we'll see you back May 7th, and just whatever organization you work for, have them write me a letter on their stationery signed by whoever was the supervisor you worked with, and have them tell me one sentence about what you did, okay? 10 hours of community service. I'll see you back May 7th.
Okay,
All right, thank you, ma'am.
Your Honor, we do have a couple of,
Any motions?
No motions, Your Honor.
All right. It is now 2:35 almost. Courtroom is empty of motorists, so anyone who hasn't shown up will be found guilty by default with maximum statutory fines and court costs. I will review these and sign off. Madam Clerk, if you would be so kind as to read them into the record.
Rachel Gabay, 18408502 speeding, $131. Cesar Jimenez, 18408502 speeding, $131. I've got Amanda Neves, 18408502 speeding, $131. Umar Shea, 18408502 speeding, $131. Albert Silver, 18408502 This is a no left turn, $121. Clara Weeks, 18408502 speeding, $131. Dennis Costa, 18408502 speeding, $131. James Canada, 18408502 no seatbelt, $76. And Alania Bart, 18408502 speeding, $131. That concludes the defaults for Monday, April 2nd. We are over.
Good afternoon.
Kimberly Newman. Speeding qualifies.
All right, ma'am. You've been charged by Pawtucket Police with speeding on Prospect Street, and you do have a completely clean driving record. To that charge, how do you plead?
Guilty.
All right, we're going to give you consideration under the Good Driver Statute. Dismiss that for you. There'll be the $25 surcharge, $35 of court costs, so it'll be $60 total, and again, it will appear on your record as a dismissal. All right, have a nice day. Right through that door, and officer, yes, go ahead, get your things.
Papa Sapon. Review.
Good afternoon, sir. So, sir, you were before me back in February, and you did not have 3 years driving, so I couldn't give you consideration under the Good Driver Statute, despite the fact that you did have a clean record other than the fact that you weren't driving for 3 years. So I allowed you to do community service. Did you do that?
Yes, I did.
Where did you do it, sir?
At the food bank in Preston.
Very nice. That's a great organization. And what did you do over there at the food bank?
I was more stacking shelves than anything else.
Nice. All right. Well, it says here you did 12 hours, and I only ordered 10, so that's even better.